Hello everyone. I'm Francine, and today another video about astrology. So I thought about what I wanted to share, and I thought one of the most important things for me has been to not just know about Western astrology, which is the astrology I learned in the 80s, but also more about Vedic or more ancient astrology. Apologies about the rain. I know the view is beautiful here. It's my garden. The rain. We're in Melbourne, so we don't have as much rain as they have in Sydney. But yeah, we're getting the tail. So it's been raining for a couple of days here. Not sure you can see or hear it. Yes. So what to backtrack what I was saying is that for me what's been very interesting is to learn more about Vedic astrology, and so I thought maybe I'll share a bit of all the different styles of astrology, and which I thought was quite interesting. So I've prepared a little, what you call it, a little screen. I've prepared a little whiteboard, Chrome, PowerPoint. There we are. That's the one. Share. So, didn't save it. Oh. So, when we look at astrology, we have the basics. So if you look at an astrology chart, there's different ways of drawing them. So I'll start with the beginnings. So the astrology I'm interested into is not predictive astrology. It's more to find ways of improving ourselves, but also improving our lives. How to have a plentiful life, and how to live a good life. Oh yes, a couple of things. If like swear words or shit or boobies offend you, please check other courses. I am not from English speaking background. For me, those words have no bad connotations, and I make a lot of mistakes when I speak. Also, my knowledge is not gospel. You'll always find different people with different views. And yes, if you like, go ahead and share. So, first of all, if you look at a astrology chart, they generally have 12 houses, and that doesn't matter which system you're doing. I'll show you later. There's always 12 houses in Western astrology, which is the one we use mostly in Europe and America, and then of course Vedic is emerging more and more, which is more in India and Pakistan, more and more available in Europe. And all right, so the 12 houses. One is House of Self. It's about, first house is about the person. The second house is about values and also the way they will earn money and things like that. Third house is sharing, family, pleasures, etc., health. And then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so that's 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sorry, guys. Okay. So 6 to 12. 6 to 12. Yeah, so 6 is balance, 7 is transformation, 8 is purpose. 9 is enterprise or career. 11 is blessings, and 12 is the house of sacrifice. 12 is also prisons. Now this is for a natal chart. All right, so the most modern Western hemisphere is called Western astrology. Versus Eastern is called Vedic, or but also it can be also Vedic astrology or sidereal astrology. So, like you can see here, this is, yeah, I drew that. Not bad, huh? So this is the Western chart. So if you look, you have the first, and then it goes around, and then this is a Vedic chart, which is of course different, and of course it's got 12 houses again. And this is a South Indian Vedic chart. So yes, as you can see, again, it has got 12 houses. And then we have different branches of astrology. Now, this is not an exhaustive list. The more you will delve in astrology, the more you will realize that there's so much. All right, so natal astrology is when you do up your birth chart. Then, of course, there's predictive, which I am not interested in. You have financial astrology, so that's an astrology where you can put up a birth chart of a company or a stock. Mundane, it's countries like Australia, or you can also do, because you have, like America, you have America as a whole, which has a, and then you can have each state, Pennsylvania, you can have that. The same as Australia, you can have a country one, and then you can have Victoria and New South Wales. And then horary astrology is when you have a question and you want an answer. So you do a chart for the moment you either receive that question if you're in astrology, or if you have the thought and you look at the time and you do a chart for that particular moment. So you have electional astrology, which is agriculture, where they use the sun and the moon for planting, for better crops. You have fixed star astrology. Fixed stars are Aldebaran is a fixed star. Fomalhaut is a fixed star. So you use those fixed star in the charts, or in the charts you're doing it. I actually use fixed star astrology separately as well, to have more of an understanding, to see what can help a person to I've used it for myself. I had a car on return, and at the same time I had a quite strong conjunction with Antares, which is destruction and war. I had an inner war, and it has helped me to understand that I'm going to have to learn to have a lot of patience with myself. And that was quite insightful and good, because it helped me not to fall off the edge. You have evolutionary astrology, which sees the body as an evolution. So you have the different, where the different people are. Medical is, of course, speaks for itself. Psychological, energy. Oh, I have horary twice, have I? Yeah, I have horary twice. Relationships, when you use two people, and then of course you have the solar return, the birthday chart every year, etc., 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 etc. There's so many. So yes, the natal astrology is where you focus on the day you were born, potential issues. Yeah, and it's based on the theory of synchronicity. We're going to look at Susan Boyle's chart later. Yes, I like Susan Boyle's chart, but yeah, you'll see what I'm doing. And then predictive is fortune telling. Most predictive methods are correct. However, it doesn't mean that prediction will come true. It just makes the event ethically possible. So if in your chart there's an accident, you could stay at home that day and that accident might not happen. However, it might happen at home. It's yes. Financial is the stock market. Oh my goodness, Francina, how do you spell wisdom? Yes, it also determines the well-being of the economy of a country. You can of business of the country. Sorry. Yes. Yes, I worked for an investment banker in the 80s, and he was incredibly popular because he actually drew up charts from stock markets, and he actually used astrology quite a lot. So that's where I thought, interesting. Yeah, he was a very, very successful with the stocks he had, and people who paid him and asked the right questions. He wouldn't just divulge everything. He would just let people ask. Yes, I think I've learned the most financial astrology when I worked with him or for him, or whatever you want to say it. Mundane, it's yeah, trends. Financial change. Now we are in a time of big change. We have entered what I call Aquarian age. Now, as I said before, not everybody believes in that. If you look at Vedic astrology, they don't enter Aquarian age, so they think differently. However, there's things is right, and so this is a side where you can see possible epidemics, weather patterns, changes. So yeah, one of the astrologers I follow actually predicted this pandemic, and at the time, I thought I was wrong. But yeah, the signs were there. But yeah, I didn't believe in it. I thought it was things like this wouldn't happen. Okay. So, and then horary, yeah, it's like pulling a tarot card. And fixed stars. Yes, they used Greek mythology and the Bible for interpretation. transportation. I use stories a lot. I love electional. It's a subclass of agricultural astrology, which I use to plant my seeds. Yeah, you can see I've written this quite a while ago, hoping to. Yes, certain moon signs moon phases are much better to plant. The crops is shorter and stockier and more healthy, versus if you plant it at the wrong time, it will go to the full moon and then it will just shoot towards the full moon. It's like attraction. And that's not good, because then the plant is too fragile. Evolutionary. So yeah, so it's like a piece of the soul, really. I really like Jeffrey Wolf Green. Eva Green is it's, I think that was her father. I'm not sure, don't quote me. Yeah, yeah, I get triggered. I like Tom Jacobs. He's on YouTube. He has some really interesting perspectives. Yeah, so Evolutionary Astrology, they have a YouTube channel. And if you are interested in that kind of astrology, yeah, Jeffrey Green, his course is quite something. Otherwise, I think Tom Jacobs now too teaches astrology, which is great. Medical astrology, oh yes, medical Crassia Tasio. She uses sidereal ancient Babylonian astrology. She has some decent courses. She also has magical things and jewelry and a lot of stuff. Yes, I like her stuff a lot. So others I don't know too much about it. So it's a psychological energy, horary, relationship. Actually, relationship. I'm a little bit better. It's two people's chart. You mix them together and you see. However, if you look at my chart and my husband's chart, it looks like we're not meant to be for each other. I would say that's total rubbish. I haven't found a way that explains why him and I get on like a house on fire. I know we have had our ups and downs, and in some ways our relationship is interesting. However, we have, on the spiritual level, a deep love for each other, and whatever has happened in our lives, it has kept us together. There's also a lot of respect, and I'm not saying it's rosy every day, not saying that. Anyway, so this was just the basics. So now I thought to show you, I'll show you a bit more. Share screen, and I can only show one. All right, well, I'll go there then and share. All right, so I'm not sure you can see both. Anyway, So if you look at this chart, this is a Susan Boyle's chart. The one on the left is the one I have made. So I thought I'll show you the differences in the astrology I do versus the generic one. So this is the generic Western astrology. So if you go, you are screen sharing. If you are looking at Susan Boyle's chart, her ascendant is at 28 degrees here. Yes, she was born in Scotland, and yeah, so this is her chart. However, I can't do this now. Stop sharing. However, if we go back, if we go back, screen sharing. Desktop. Ah, that's it. If you do desktop. All right, so if you so if you go back at the extended, if you go to astro.com and go to the free section, you know, the free horoscope here, you come to here, down here, extended chart selection. So if you have a chart on there, all you have to do is go to the chart, natal chart, chart drawing. So you could choose which one you want. Now I use a full house, a whole house, so a whole sign. To use whole sign. And then here, if you look tropical, you have sidereal. So you can choose sidereal astrology. Now it gives you more interesting things. So if you look now, Susan Boyle's chart still looks the same. However, her ascendant has changed. So if you look at Vedic astrology, the planets stay the same in the same houses. It's generally the ascendant that changes. In Susan Boyle's chart, it's still in the same ascendant. If you look at my chart, I go from a Sagittarian to Scorpio ascendant. So it really depends. I think there's like 20 something degrees difference. What Vedic astrology uses, it uses the actual planets as we see them in the sky, versus Western astrology uses a slightly different system. So the reason why sidereal Vedic astrology is different is because their science is different. However, if your ascendant is conjunct Formalhaut, it doesn't matter the system, it will always be conjunct Formalhaut, unless the time of birth is different. And then something else what I thought I'll show you too is yes, so it's kind of fascinating. I think it's kind of fascinating how things work. Ah, this one. I'm not very good with the. But now I. Oh, I didn't. I thought I okay. Let me find it. Vedic. Vedic astrology. Maybe I have a picture of it. Probably have. All right, let me share my screen. Share. Sorry about that. It's a bit slow. So yeah, so if you look here, you can see a birth chart. So yeah, so you have this is a North Indian chart. So there's lots of sites where you can do this. I found if I use astro.com, for me, it's more something I'm used to. What I found as well is that Vedic astrology is much better with the North and South node, Rahu and Ketu. And also I like their stories. Rahu and Ketu is a dragon, which you've got the head and the tail, which is kind of nice. So if you listen to the stories, you get a bit more understanding of yourself. Also, they have more about marriage and yeah, so it's really interesting. It's I would say it's fascinating. I really love some of the stories. Krazia Tassio, she does more Vedic style astrology. She has also some really knowledgeable people who have been on her YouTube channel. I'm trying to think. And then also there's a normal astrologer, Western. I can't say normal. Now I've lost his name again. I've been trying to say his name since the beginning. There we are, Steve Judd. He's on YouTube. He has a lot of information, and his latest videos have been quite interesting as well. And it's not just about astrology, but yeah, he's a great astrologer. He has got some great courses as well. Yes, and then for general, if you look at Astrolada, she has a lot of astrology as well. She's on YouTube. She started Vedic, and then she swapped. That was quite interesting to see. So if you look at her history, there's a lot of information. Yes, and then if anybody wants, I thought that maybe we could have a one video on explaining how to do a chart, basic chart, so you can have the basics, and then you can see what your chart is all about, and then maybe do basics on that. And let me know if you're interested. That would be interesting for me too. Yes, so I hope you enjoyed. Please, if there's anything you don't like, let me know, but in a nice way, please. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye.